We are going live, so waiting for
Woohoo!
this. It says setting it all up. Come on, baby.
Come on, work for mama.
And we are live on the boob tubes, the YouTube tubes,
The
the YouTube
YouTubes.
tube.
Any opportunity to say boob.
I mean, as long as you spell it right.
Well, for me, I've never said chicken breasts. I've always called them chicken boobs, which
Yeah.
throws a lot of people off. It's great,
It's because we're 15 years old and we're like,
Well, you might be 15. I'm a little younger than that.
oh, emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally, I don't know.
And mentally.
Listen, that's
What?
true, but
Listen,
still.
Linda, listen. Alrighty, but yeah, we are. God.
Listen to me. What are we talking about today? Do we even know?
Yeah,
Yeah, the sevens.
yeah, we
Oh,
are
that's right,
talking.
the
Yeah.
sevens.
Oh yeah.
Not only did I put it in chat, but I also sent an email to the Zoom room link. But
And
so
I also advertised it on the gram of Insta that
I was
we're
being silly.
which apparently you wrote according to our chat. I don't
I
know.
did
yeah, you
right.
wrote it.
So in any case, I don't
I'm
think
a writer. Yeah,
yeah, I don't think anybody's watching us yet, which is fine.
that's
Because
okay. We can be
no,
stupid as we want to be then.
word. Well, this is being recorded for our listeners, so John's gonna have a fun one with this. And we're a new
For
producer.
posterity.
So thanks, John.
Yeah, he just got back from Taiwan, so he'll be catching up on work this week.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome back.
I know.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. They'll file in. They'll file in
Yep.
quietly
Oh, yeah.
and orderly to listen to this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Indeedy.
I think so.
I
Well,
think
I mean,
So,
as orderly and quietly as our listeners are.
that's
right.
fair because they're a rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
So I, I thought the last time we did a live/record, I thought we were doing the sevens, and I got really excited because seven is such an important number in
Yes.
at least the stateside culture and in many Western cultures or even across the world. So I love superstitions. I love folklore. So this is one of the books I own called A
Nice.
Dictionary of
Ooh.
Superstitions. This is out of print, sadly. I tried to find a link to A Books to anywhere, including the big box at
Sorry.
Disney. But it's hard to find, but you can find other superstition books. I just really like this one because they do a lot of different things. And so this is what it has to say on the sevens. God created the world in 7 days. There are seven mortal sins, seven, as well as seven virtues, seven planets for the ancients, seven colors in a rainbow. The number is an expression of a perfect cycle and is universally sacred. It is also cosmic and of great importance in superstitions. So it is the very duration of the human cycle. Every 7 years, a person is entirely regenerated. No good marriage goes without crisis and quarrels every 7 years. Others who are more optimistic say every 9 years. Um, in Dr. Faust's homeland, it was known that a pact signed with the devil lasted 7 years. Whoever breaks a mirror is subject to 7 years of bad luck. In Portugal, a woman who wears 7 petticoats at one time is assured of happiness. In the Brittany section of France, in order to avoid death by drowning or to find a husband from the Middle East, it is necessary to let 7 waves pass over your head while swimming.
That is remarkably fucking specific.
Right? That's why I love this book. So there's more though. In Morocco,
One,
in Morocco,
2,
mhm,
3.
4,
Maybe he could just be from
5.
Portugal. Ugh.
But in Morocco, to protect herself from sterility, a woman must leave her belt wrapped around a tree 7 times for 7 days. And then, of course, the seventh son in a family will always be a protege of the gods. For the Scottish, the seventh son of a seventh son will have the gift of second sight.
Yep.
And in ancient Greece, it was necessary to roll your tongue over 7 times before speaking, undoubtedly
Ooh.
because 7 was the number associated with the sages. But other things that we have in sevens include, we have 7 days of the week,
Days.
we have 7 continents and 7 seas, 7 colors of the rainbow, There are 7 major stars in the Big Dipper. There are 7 notes in a major minor scale. We have 7 chakras. There are 7 wonders of the ancient and natural world. And then there are 7 metals of antiquity, which kind of goes along with the 7 planets of antiquity.
Yeah.
So 7 has been this huge number. And of course, I didn't even say it, but 7 is a lucky number for like gamblers or other societies, so 7's huge. And in the tarot, it's got this weird blending of positive / negative stuff, right?
Yeah. Haven't we discussed already when we started the minors, I feel like we discussed a little bit about how it's like half and half. Like there's two out of the 4 suits are usually more positive than negative, and then 2 are more negative rather than positive.
Yeah.
For some of the numbers, and I feel like 7, the 7, the 7s of the minor arcana have that going along with it, because you've got like the 7 of swords, which typically no one wants to see. I mean, it has a lot of good connotations too, like cleverness. I mean, everyone wants to be clever. But the downside of the 7 of swords is like maybe too clever for their own good, So, but then you look at the 7 of Pentacles, and it's just like the 7 of Pentacles is that money bush, basically, where it's just like you're kind of seeing the fruits of your labor. You're seeing things start to come to fruition. The seeds that you planted previously are starting to bear fruit. So I really like that, both in the ancient mythology, like we have those positive and negative connotations also with the 7, but we also see that in the tarot as well.
Yeah. And my kitty, if you hear background noise from Jamie's mic, that's my cat going hog wild against her ball toy. So she's
into the episode.
Oh yeah, she's excited. Yeah, she's like running around. This is her time to play. So, but
shall we quote
let's
from
quote Melissa.
Actually, should we have Melissa read, because Melissa prepped by reading her own book.
I was kidding. I prepped by reading what Hillary wrote for my own book.
Okay, so I'll let him.
Half of one, 6 dozen of another. Okay.
Oh my God, cat hair in my lipstick. Jesus Christ.
The story of your autobiography, cat hair in my lipstick.
Yep.
So from Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sonova, that bitch.
I don't know what that is. Why do we let her in on this shit?
I don't know. She's the one that started it, though.
So. All right, go ahead.
So the 7s represent conflict. With the 7s, there is conflict. It ranges from conflicting ideals and morals to fighting or frustration. The 7s are not easy cards, especially if you're impatient. I had a feeling we were going to also feel that, considering being 3 fire signs. It's just like, especially if you're a fire sign, like, come on, let's go. Each of the 7s says that you don't get what you want just yet. Doesn't matter how long you've wanted it. Doesn't matter how close it appears to be. What matters is why you want it and how hard will you work for it. And we have the Zen Misfit commenting, 7 is considered the perfect number. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yeah, it is. I mean, again, it's, because it's so important. I mean, I just rambled off like, basically 15 minutes worth of, 7s and its importance. And, to me, my lucky number is 8. But 7s, Samesies. 7 has a more positive bent. But it's interesting, especially what you just read about Melissa's book, in that, 7s are conflict or impatience, where for us fire signs, that's so true. Like in my life right now, I have a lot of conflict going on, but I also have a lot of impatience going on. I think what we said about the 4s, the 4 you have 4 legs of a table or a chair, so it's stable, we can sit on it. 5s are kind of this off-key kind of conflict, where you have spiky, where you have 4 people maybe in agreement, and one person's got to be that one that says no, the stupid card of the 4 of wands or 5 of wands, where everybody's got a wand and they want to beat each other over the head. With 6, you have this, which we just finished, you have this really nice synergy, about choice and balance and harmony. And now we're back to the sevens where we come out of that, and it's things are not what we seem anymore. I loved that you said that, sevens, you don't get what you want yet, because in tarot, and the cycle goes to 10. There's not this perfect cycle that superstition and belief, or our mind has. Another thing about the sevens I just remembered is that it's easy for the human brain to remember up to 7 numbers at one time. So that could be another reason why we have like the 7 wonders of ancient natural world, because it's just easier to remember that. But in tarot, 7 is that, it's at the point where we want what we want, God damn it. I'm
Yeah.
at that right now in my life. In my life, I want what I want right
Well,
now, God damn it.
Now,
it doesn't
now.
allow for the time for your wish to come true.
Exactly, because it's the 10 or the 9, you get your wish, and the 10 is you close that wish up and you work on the next one.
Right.
Right.
And in the sevens, you just put in the work,
Mhm.
and you have to wait for it to fucking go. You have to wait. No choice, whether you like it or not.
That's also
Yeah.
a good comment from the Zen Misfit, and the hungriest number.
Ooh, the hungriest number.
Ooh.
Hello, the Zen Misfit. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more? How is it the hungriest number? Because I don't think I know yet quite what you're, saying, but I love that.
Well, I think of hunger as like the wanting that we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
want
like we want what we
this,
want, but we're not
Ah,
getting it
the
yet. So it's
effort,
like this, yeah,
and the surprise, the present.
yeah.
Right.
right. It's like that limbo. Like, I would say the sevens are kind of another limbo card. It's just like we want what we want, but we haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah. Or we
No,
know
Because 7, 8, 9.
because 7, 8,
9.
9.
Fuck off.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you got
I love it.
us.
I love it
God.
because 7, 8, 9. Yes.
And we're all
You
getting
got
like fucking
us.
mystical about it. And no, it's a
Wow.
silly
Mystical
joke.
and deep and profound.
That was
And
amazing.
then,
You win.
bump. Where's the rim shot?
Congratulations.
Oh, well, it's true. And I should have realized that, just because I've used that a lot and
Oh
people
my
have thrown it
God.
at me. No, but God damn it. I lost a train of thought that I think Melissa was mentioning. But I mean, if we look at the 7 of Swords, I mean, I know we'll go deeper into this. You've got somebody trying to steal what they want. They're like, I don't want to wait anymore. It's that impatience
Yeah.
card. Fuck
Yeah.
waiting. I want this and I want it now, so I'm going to go take it from somebody else or something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
the 7 of Wands is, whoa,
Defense.
really? 7 of Wands is defending what you want from others so that they don't take you. Maybe the 7 of Swords and 7 of Wands go together, where the 7 of Swords is trying to steal what the 7 of Wands has, and the 7 of Wands is trying to defend it.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I never thought of it that way.
I just thought of it, especially since
God damn
Lily,
it.
yeah, Lily just
God damn it. Why are you so smart? Fuck.
Why?
because I'm
I wish I thought of
caffeinated.
it.
No.
And then you've got the 7 of, so I was trying to think of, like, after saying, you've got basically 2 positive cards and 2 negative cards. And I was trying to think of what the negative cards would be. Like, clearly the 7 of Swords is like one of the negative cards, but then
Well,
I was
and I'm
just
going
like,
to put
well,
that
what
in
about
quotes. I'm putting that in quotes,
negative,
Yeah.
seemingly negative. But then I was thinking about, well, would it be the 7 of Wands or would it be the 7 of Cups? Because the 7 of Cups is like that card of illusion. You've got all of the cups in the air. It's a very airy card for being a water card, but it's
Yeah.
just like it's got the illusion. I call it the idea card, where it's just like you're spoiled for choice, but you don't know quite what the right choice is. And there is always a
Mhm.
right choice in the 7 of Cups for you.
Right.
But you're kind of like, you've got like that bright and shiny syndrome going on.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's necessarily a positive card,
What I like about
like
the
opposed to
cups,
the 7 of Wands.
yeah.
So
Another thing that helps me in the 7 of Cups card comes from the Shadowscapes tarot, where you've got, I call it the happy house shopping folk, where they've got like the one that they can easily get to, the one that's maybe in the distance, and then there's one up in the clouds, which is the dream big type thing, or the happy dreamers. And there's a couple, and the femme presenting one is pointing up to the one in the clouds, and the masculine guy's like scratching his head looking at the map of how to get there.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like you can dream big, yet you need to keep your feet firmly on the ground. And then
I think
another
I pulled
thing-
that. I think I
yeah,
pulled that card during my deck of the month, having been the Shadowscapes. I pulled that
yeah,
one and I'm just like, this is such a like it's like, okay, I get it now. I get why everyone raves about the Shadowscapes. Like I had to
yeah.
see it for myself.
Well,
But
Yeah.
like it's such a brilliant card.
yeah. I want to get
know?
into mine, but I'll do that when, when we get into the cups card. But another
Mhm.
thing about that Rider-Waite-Smith cup card where we see, all seven, cups lined up in a row with,
Different
things.
things. Yeah.
Those
What
are
do you want?
the seven sins.
What?
Yeah. If you look at it,
What?
if you look at a Rider-Waite-Smith deck with the seven of cups, each one of those things has a item that correlates back to the seven deadly sins.
What?
Yeah.
Shut the
Well,
fuck
which
up.
ones? Okay, we need to get. Yeah, we'll get in depth on this on the Seven of Cups episode. I promise you, because we're gonna go through each and every one, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
make Jamie do it because
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's the veiled? What's the veiled figure mean then?
So
No. Save
see
it for the
pride.
Seven of Cups episode.
Yeah, but I just want to point it out. But if you look at this and you look closely and stuff, you'll see that there is, each one of a deadly sin in there.
I see pride is the
Your homework for this episode is
To reflect on that. But yeah, or
I
you can look
usually
at
tell those, this is from the Zen Misfit.
okay.
Thank you. It helps keep the whimsy, especially in these times. Holler. I
absolutely.
usually tell those the Seven of Cups is not the correct choice, but making your choice before the universe chooses for you. Interesting.
Ooh,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Zen Misfit. I really like that.
Cool.
So you were saying about the Seven of Cups, and then you were about to say something. I'm sorry I interrupted because we all went like,
we all
The-
went, stop. Wait.
Well, that was it. The seven, I mean, well, yeah, if you have, again, with this history of the seven deadly sins, there's also seven virtues. So you could almost
Right.
interpret, the card, that seven of cups in the Rider-Waite. Most
Oh,
people
shit.
look at it as the virtues, and we're losing Melissa. She's grown smaller.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about
But
it.
you can also see it as the virtue.
Don't worry
You
about it.
line it all up into one of the same virtues, which is, things we
Right.
want in our life as well. Or you can pair it up with like the seven metals or the seven stars in the Big Dipper. You can pair any of the sevens up, I think, with anything in the seven card, seven minors. Plus, we have to go back to both the Chariot, which is number
Yeah.
7, which is dream big and chase what you want.
Right.
Or even, Temperance, which is double 7.
Yeah.
Right. My
Which
mind
There
is-
is a really cool trick you can do. Do you have the
Yeah.
Ace of Cups available, James?
Yes, I do.
Can you hold
Mhm.
them up next to each other?
So the Ace of Cups and the 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ace and Seven of Cups.
Yep, got them.
Okay,
So-
can you hold them up so it looks like the on the other side of the ace?
Flip it.
Hold them together. So now you have an arm offering you the one thing.
Maybe it's the other way again.
No, they align. Do you see how the clouds align?
Oh.
I
Yeah.
wish this didn't have borders because you could see it better, but
Yeah. Well, flip the order. Oh, it has borders there too. Never mind.
yeah, they have
Yeah,
borders.
it's gonna have
I'm
borders
like,
either way.
do it the other way. No, wait, the other way. No, wait, the other way.
No.
But
Like
yeah,
your
it's
other
like
way,
his
your
other
other
hand
left.
from the past grabbing one of the cups and then bringing it into progression
To
of,
focus. Yeah. This
and
is
then
a
that's where you
progressed
get
wish.
8. Maybe it's the
love that.
missing 8.
Maybe so. And I learned that from Ryan Edward taught me that.
Nice.
Ah, Ryan
Ryan
Edward.
He's amazing.
So brilliant. So brilliant. Yeah, we've blown the Zen Misfits mind too with a oh wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got you back.
Yeah.
How you like that?
You know, learning in a
7,
safe
8,
space.
9.
Oh, I'm gonna laugh about that all day now because
This is my 3rd cup of coffee. Like I can't believe I fell for that.
I took my
Woo.
meds. I can't believe I fell for that.
oh my God. But no, I mean, this is all good stuff because now it makes me look at, we'll get into this deeper, the next time. But again, that 8 of Cups where it's got a missing cup, well, that's probably, the one that's going to be added to the Seven of Cups from this Ace of Cups.
Yep.
Right. Right.
Boom. Boom.
Boom. Pow.
We've solved
Tarot
that
man.
mystery. We've solved that Pennsylvania.
We are fucking
And if you know,
mystics.
you know.
Good call. Good call back. Good call.
Thank you.
back.
Thank you.
I
Well
can't
done.
even
always
look at you
sunny.
right now.
But yeah.
I'm already thinking about my favorites, including like the Seven of Swords. Like I already know what my favorite Seven of Sword is because it made me think of the Seven of Swords in a different way. And so that's the reason why I like it so much. So like it's definitely not that.
Yeah. I know. I'm just gonna show
It's definitely not that one. But
hey, since we're, since we have the intertubes now to show, I figured just, show all the sevens, right?
right.
I think it's a great idea. God, dude.
But yeah, but yeah, here's the Chariot.
There's the
The
Chariot.
Chariot meanings go into all this. Again, impatience, kind of fits because you don't actually see the movement on the Chariot itself. The kitties are resting.
The little kitties are going, let's go.
And you also have to make sure like it's not the Chariot, it's called the Chariot, but in fact you are the charioteer.
Yeah.
Like you have to make sure those black and white sphinxes are moving together and not, and in harmony. Otherwise, you don't rein them in. They're going to go in two different directions and you're going nowhere.
Exactly. And it kind of shows them not, it's not going nowhere, but they're also not facing direct. They're kind of facing a little out anyway.
Yeah. So you got to rein them in.
Yep. And then with Temperance being double seven, we've got a little bit more harmony, but still there's, 1 foot on rock and 1 foot on, in the water, which, can be some balance between water and earth. However, there's still that imbalance going on.
Right. And think about what the act is in Temperance. It's the act of alchemy. It's taking two usually disparate things and creating something new from it that's completely different than its parts. And so it's just like, but it's not happened yet.
Yes.
The act of alchemy hasn't resulted yet. It is in process.
Yes. I went to a back in the day, there used to be a conference called PantheaCon held in California every year. And every now and then, it wasn't every year, but when they could get it in, they would do this living tarot thing where it was like a play where all the major arcana came out, introduced themselves with song or dance or speech. And one year, Temperance came out with a blue mug and a red mug. And they, talked about, their mugs, and then they would pour, back and forth until it mixed up into a purple. So that really, if you
that clearly was meaningful to you because it stuck in your mind all these years. That's amazing.
Well, and another thing, I mean, granted, we look at this last major as part of the 3-6 or the 3-12-21 cycle. But if you think about it, 3 times 7 is 21. So the world fits into this as well. Well, yeah, we have boobs, but going back to our early discussion of chicken boobs and all that, but we have completion. So this could be in the old world, the 7 of completion. But it just takes 21, a step process of 21 to get there.
Yeah.
Right.
It takes 3 circles around to get it right.
Yep. And then the other 2 minors that we kind of skip past, what I like to call the defense card, where if we had that swords 7 coming in to take from the 7 of wands here.
And I always want to point out that he's standing on the edge of a cliff and that he's wearing 2 different kinds of shoes. This is the kind of rush. He didn't even bother to grab the same fucking shoes. He just put some shoes on and ran out to defend himself.
Yep.
And if you look at his feet, he's standing on either side of that water. So that's a pretty precarious place to be standing too. So
slip to the right, fall down the cliff, slip to the left, and be on your butt in water.
Yep.
Which happens to me more often than not when I go hiking. I'm always slipping and getting mud on my butt. So for some reason, it's hilarious. It makes
maybe that's your rapper name, mud on my butt.
Mud on my butt.
You never know.
Maybe. And of course, my deck falls apart in my hands, and I can't find the 7 of Pentacles because of that.
It's going to be the last card.
5,
It's
6.
always it's
No,
the
it's
Murphy's
behind the
law.
9.
Murphy's law of tarot.
Pentacles.
Seven of
Pentacles, yes.
Pentacles. He's got the same shoes on, and he looks so irritated that he has to dig that up. Ugh.
I don't know if it's irritated because it looks more like I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's again, this is the impatience thing. It's the, you know, I'm not in conflict like the wands and the swords. I'm more impatient. I think impatience is maybe the feminine traits, because sometimes we call the pentacles and the cups the more feminine side of things.
Right.
Or receptive
Receptive.
versus
Thank you. Yeah.
action.
Action.
Yeah.
So these are the impatience is the receptive, while the active is, you know, that conflict BS.
Have you, can I ask a question? Have you guys noticed the face changes depending
Yes.
on the reading?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because it's such a neutral, sorry, I'm shaking from all the caffeine here.
Yeah.
It's such a neutral, you know, position. You know, like right now I see somebody who's just sleepy, and that could just be because my rest isn't restful, you know. All this
Yeah.
work, I don't want to do it. I just want to fall asleep.
Right. Zen Misfit says, this is amazing. Even after all this time, there's more to learn, and I drink that milkshake. We drink that milkshake too.
Oh,
Yeah, drink it.
Drink
milkshakes.
it.
Heck
That
yeah.
taro milkshake brings the boys to the yard.
And I'm like,
My taro milkshake brings the boys to the yard. Sorry. Start to say it.
Sorry.
Oh, I love how easily influenceable we are to each other.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much. And I know that, you know, this was just mostly to introduce the sevens and stuff. Obviously, the aces are involved. Obviously, the eights can get involved, you know, if we look at the progression of everything. And it's just cool to see all this, you know, get captured, you know, as I pull apart my universal weight pocket deck here.
I fucking love our decks. I
Yeah,
love our
right.
jobs. I love them so much. Like, I love tarot so much. It's so much fun.
Well, and there's like, you know, like we're saying, there's so much more that you can learn from each other and from the cards themselves, just by looking at, you know, the face of people or the colors, or, you know, oh my God, this person has a different shoe on.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it's the 7 deadly sins and the 7 virtues.
Which I had,
the 7 of
I'm
cups.
gonna break out my pictorial weight and see what he has to say about that. Because that is totally new for me, and I thought I knew everything.
Really?
Like not so much.
I'm gonna break out, or I'm gonna break out the tarot coloring book. I want to see if Teresa said anything about that.
You know what I did with mine is I had a tarot meetup group, and I tore it apart. We all colored different pages of it. It was really fun, but now I'm like,
I need another copy.
I need another copy of that.
Well, and they have 2 different versions of that book now, and I'll put that in the resources mentioned. They have a spiral bound, which was the original, and just a paper bound book. And spiral bound
is better.
Yeah. Well, it's fun because A, you can flip it over and you have more area, especially if you're a southpaw like me, you can, you know, color easier. But B, Teresa did that at first because you can like poke, you know, things in paper or cards and actually insert them into the pages. So you can actually make it your own tarot grimoire in a way.
Nice.
And yeah, I remember at a reader studio, she had printed out a bunch, and I can't remember which one I did, but I did get to color one of them, one of the ones with a belt. So it was either the major or the magician or a different one.
I think it was the magician.
Because I love you. Never get into a coloring contest with Ryan Edward, because you will lose, and you will lose soundly.
Well, that's because
that
he's a professional artist. Yeah, you don't do anything against a professional artist.
Got my ass whipped. I was like, okay, now whose is the best? And mine looks like Blue's Clues did it, and then Ryan's looks like it just came off of out of a frame in a museum. And I was like,
that is such a fire sign thing to say.
Just challenge a professional artist.
Making like no, more like making something that's relaxing, like a coloring book, and making it into a contest.
Exactly. Exactly.
What are you gonna do? I don't like things easy.
Well, none of the fire signs do, you know. It's like I'm actually pretty competitive apparently when it comes to certain games. Like I can't play a game of pickup basketball because I used to play that, you know, hardcore in high school and junior high, you know. And there are some other stuff that I can't do unless it's, kind of competitive. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, the sevens really got me thinking.
I love that. All
Me
right.
too.
Well,
Me
I
too.
hope the sevens get our audience of 4 thinking, and the rest of you guys listening on the podcast. Thank you for being patient with the podcast. We have a new producer, and he's catching up as soon as he can.
Yes.
So we will be back on your streaming service just as soon as we can.
It's not
Um,
it's not a huge amount that we have to catch up on
It's like
either.
3.
So
Yeah, well, there are 3 that I didn't record as audio stuff, so those will have to be pulled from YouTube feeds. But the rest of them, here's how you make the sausage. I started recording, and I have the audio download to my machine, and then I put that to our shared area where John can get it, and then John adds the bumpers and does his magic. And then, of course, the live stream is just the live stream where, you can comment here or wherever you want. But seriously, ladies, we don't have homework. What's the homework for today?
look at my homework is looking at the 7 of Cups.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
is
think
that what we want to say?
Yeah, I think that our students can do some homework. They can look up the sevens in a book and see what it means to them, see what they pull out of the text.
And compare and contrast them if you want to pull
And
all
it
of the
doesn't have to
sevens
be
out.
my book, but it would be best if it were. So,
If you just say so yourself.
cha-ching. So go forth and multiply
Go
by
forth in
7.
7.
Multiply by 7. Be the 7th son of a 7th son of a 7th son, born by a 7th son to have
Under
that
the
psychic-
7th sign.
That's a heck of a lot of homework. That's probably the hardest homework task we've ever given.
Yeah, go backwards and get yourself born again.
Also, if you remember in our last episode, we're still looking for people for Melissa. Melissa wants to send stickers out to people that can prove that they've listened to all of our episodes.
Yeah, I've got stickers and they have my name on them. Thank you for all of the mental floss. You are welcome.
You're
Zip
welcome.
Misfit.
We will also be flossing.
Yep, really
All right.
not. Yeah, floss your teeth for everybody. It'll help them stay great. But
Exactly.
And finally, our final homework assignment is to click the like button, subscribe,
yes.
click the bell for notifications when we go live. We've got to do it kind of randomly now because of my work schedule. But yeah.
And
So
maybe mine,
definitely click the bell.
Yeah.
We do anything for Hillary. So
Aww.
if this is the least we have to do is be squirrely when we post, so be it.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, I know I need to get a day job. If anybody needs a writer, editor, or software QA person, remote or in location of Portland, Oregon, please send me a shout out or comment below because yeah, life is fun.
Life is life, my guys.
CC. CardslingerCC at gmail.com.
Ta-da!
All right, everybody, have a great day, week, and we'll see you next time.